Hi everyone. I want to point out that your syllabus is 33 pages long, and therefore I do not go over a lot of the details. I expect you to read them on your own. So here is a draft of a syllabus. It may or may not end up being your syllabus, but I just want to point out some important items. At the top, highlighted in yellow, you will have my office hours posted in the syllabus. It may be different from what is here because I'm still working out some details on my syllabus and my office hours. Also highlighted in yellow is the prerequisites. You should have all of the prerequisites for 315 completed as well as 315. If not, you should only be in this class with special permission. Textbooks are listed. There's a YouTube channel for this class. Almost all of the lectures that are recorded are in YouTube. And therefore, if you went to my channel and put in Health 430, all of the Health 430 information would come up. These are the NCHEC standards for health educators. This course is to help prepare you to take the NCHEC or the CHES exam. And there are 8 areas of responsibility, and these are the 8 and what we do under each of the 8 standards to prepare you for the real world. And you can look at those on your own. They take up several pages. Next are the course objectives, and here the course objectives tell you what you're going to be able to do, and it also shows you what standards are related to these course objectives. Course policies, I'm just going to go over a couple of these that are important. They're all important, but I'm going over the most important. The health fair event is the main point of this class, and that is you're going to apply all of your knowledge about planning, implementing, and evaluating into a real program. And so you are required to attend the program. So this is important for you to understand. If you miss the event, you cannot pass the class. And if you're late or leave early from your assigned time at the event, then you will lose substantial amount of points, which may cause you to fail the class. This explains specifically how that works. Attendance, this goes specifically about synchronous online classes. During our class, if it's a synchronous online class, you are required to have on your camera, and that explains why that is a requirement. And during class, you're expected to have access to an electronic device so that you can use it during our class time. Attendance, just like in the real world, because this class is preparing you for internship and professional settings, all the policies are designed to mimic the professional setting. So in the professional world, you do have personal leave that you can take without telling your employer why. You're just taking the leave, and that's how this works also. You are allowed to miss 2 classes of unexcused reasons. Otherwise, you're expected to be in class every day that we meet, whether it's online or in person. You're also expected to meet with your teams once a week. Because the class is flipped, you typically have one of the 2 class times each week to meet with your group. In the real world, the minimal expectation is that you would show up for work, and that's the minimal expectation here as well. And that means you do not get points for attending class. You don't get extra money for showing up for work, and you don't get extra points for coming to class. That's the expectation. So just keep that in mind. If you miss class, it'll be put in Blackboard so that you can see what I have. Synchronous online classes, it's repeated there. Lateness to class, early departure, and absence, those are all described in detail as to what happens. An excused absence does not count in those 2 absences that you're allowed. So if you have 2 excused absences, you don't lose any, there's no penalty. And if you have an excused absence, there's no penalty. And this goes over, there's 4 main reasons. If you think there's another reason that's legitimate, you should ask me. These are the 4 that are automatic. Medical reasons, this is what I need from your provider. If you're sick and you don't have this, then it would count as one of your unexcused absences. If you are sick and you have symptoms of COVID or the flu or any other illness, you should stay home and have your group or team log you into class through Blackboard or another means. If you give me an excuse that does not have this information on it, I will not accept it and you'll have to work with student affairs. The reason I require these things is because of the number of forged medical excuses. And so this is what has to be on there for me to accept it. Legal reasons are similar items. Deaths, you submit your documentation to the Office of Student Affairs. And religious holidays, you don't normally submit anything. You just tell me why you're absent. If I can't verify it online, then I ask you another way. These are reasons that are really important. Just because you have an excused absence from class does not mean you're going to have an excused lateness for an assignment, and this explains why. I put your attendance in Blackboard once a week or once every other week. If you think there's an error, you must address it within 1 week of me posting it in Blackboard. So if I post it on the 1st, you have until the 8th to address it. If you don't address it until after the 8th, it's too late. Talk about conduct, electronic devices, phones should be on vibrate. Also, your electronic devices that you bring to class are for class use. And if you're caught using them for personal use, like email or social media, you'll be asked once to stop, and after that, you'll just be dismissed, and it will count as an unexcused absence. Academic integrity is critical. It's important for you to understand it. This is highlighted in red so that I remember to check to make sure the link works. This is the full policy. Communication, I pick up my emails on Monday through Friday. I do not read emails on the weekend. Typically, you receive a response from me within 24 hours. If you don't, then it's possible that I missed your email. So if you don't hear back from me within 24 hours, Monday through Friday, you should send another email or text me. I do not typically read emails on the weekend. These are examples of when you would or would not use my cell phone. It gives you some examples of urgent matters and examples that are not urgent. I'm happy to meet with you to help you if you have actually tried to help yourself. So one of the things I do require is when you ask for help, I ask to see your notes from class, whether it's an online lecture or in class face-to-face. If you don't have notes, I will not meet with you. If you do have notes, I want to look at them to see if one of the issues is that you need to improve your note-taking skills, so we can address that as well. Course grading, there's lateness penalties. They're explained here. Lateness approved is very important. If you know that you're going to need an extended period of time, you must request it 2 days in advance. So if something's due on a Friday, you must request the extension on Wednesday at the latest. If it comes after that, I will not accept it as a request. What you're going to do is tell me the real reason. For example, I miscalculated the amount of time it's going to take to finish this assignment. Therefore, I'm asking for an extension and I'd like to turn it in on this date. You need to give me the date, that time. I almost always accept those requests. And the only time I do not accept the request is if you have a pattern of late submissions, and then I just stop accepting your requests. If you think your grade is wrong and it's something small, like it says 90, or it says 10 and it should say 90, it's a typo error, just ask me to check it. If the scoring tool and your grade are different, ask me to check it. If you think I missed something in your work, then you need to tell me exactly where it is, and this tells you how to do that. People want to know how to get an A or a B in 430, and because it's an upper level class, you must be able to show that you can apply, synthesize, and evaluate what's going on in class. So if all you do is tell me the facts and it's 100% correct and you have no content or spelling or grammar errors, you will get a C. That's how the scoring tools are set up. If, however, you can apply it, synthesize it, and evaluate the information, which means you can apply it to real life, that's how you get an A or B in this class. Extra credit, there's typically 2 extra credit assignments a semester. One is attending a career fair or some similar event. They're slightly different every semester. That's worth up to 5 points. And due to COVID, everything's changed. Even now, things are not the same. So that's why there's some variation in what this event is. You're also allowed to submit extra credit LinkedIn page. Note that extra credit is not accepted late. And even though these are small amounts of points, they do affect your grade. An explanation of all the assignments. These are the course objectives. These are the NCHEC standards or areas of responsibility and the percentage of your grade. So even though you work in groups all semester, I want you to note that it's only worth 5% of your grade. So if you have a person in your group not doing their work, you do not have to do their work for them because that will not impact your grade at the end of the semester. Then there's smaller assignments and larger assignments. Also, brief description of all the assignments. That takes up a couple pages. You can look at those. This is highlighted in red so I can confirm what it's supposed to say with internship coordination, the grading system, and all the student services that people typically might request to use. Then is the course outline. All of your work is due at 9 p.m. If you have an issue with that, you can email me in advance for each assignment that you think you need some extension. The key things about this outline is that this column tells you the topic and units and what you need to do, what you need to complete before you come to class. This column tells you what your groups should be doing. So here's all the tasks your group should do this during Unit 1. And in the center column also are the ground rules or whatever assignments are being collected from your group, what the group assignments are. And this third column shows you what assignments are being collected that are not group assignments. Notice everything's due by 9 unless otherwise stated. So this first assignment, the pre-class assignment, is due by 3 p.m. on the 29th because that's what I use to put you in your groups. So this is page 24 of 33. The rest of this is more of the course outline and also a calendar showing when things are due. If you have any questions, please be prepared to ask them during the first week of class. Thank you, and I look forward to seeing you in class this semester.